Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
All right. Okay, another interesting one, guys. Real estate agent. So if you really go by process of elimination, by the way, this should not be difficult. Process of elimination is a technique that you should aggressively apply actually to critical reasoning questions. Not difficult to understand. So this is what the argument is claiming, that a real estate agent can assess the home's true market value far more accurately than any automated website. And we have to strengthen this. All right, let's look at option Charlie, by the way. Why do you guys think Charlie is not the right answer? Absolutely, it's actually weakening the conclusion, right? Because it says by considering a home's own sales history, a website can automatically account for many intangible factors specific to that home. So the argument was claiming that real estate agent needs to be there to take into account the role of intangible factors. Charlie is saying that's not necessary. So it's weakening. All right. Why not David, by the way? Why not David? Very nice. Seller versus buyer, whose interest is it serving? That's out of scope. The whole goal is what? To accurately assess the home's true market value. Now, that accurate assessment, whether it would be of financial interest to the buyer or the seller or to no one, that's out of scope. The whole goal is in and itself to accurately assess the true market value of the home. Good. So Charlie is gone. David is gone. All right. How about Edward? Again, weakening, because it says the recent sale price of other homes in a neighborhood reflect intangible aesthetic factors that affect the desirability of the neighborhood as a whole. In some sense, right? Because what are the intangible aesthetic factors that we are talking about? Views and interior design, right? So Edward is saying that recent sale prices of other homes in a neighborhood reflect intangible aesthetic factors. So taking into account the sale price for other homes in the neighborhood, perhaps there would be an accurate assessment that would be done for this particular home's sale price also. So you don't, in other words, what Edward is saying is that you don't need to take each home into account as far as aesthetic factors go, because aesthetic factors generally impact the entire neighborhood, right? So Edward also in that sense is weakening. So now we are left between Alpha and Baker. Which one would you guys choose between Alpha and Baker? Yes, guys. What do you guys think? Alpha versus Baker. Raman, Dhanush, Rajiv, Kriti, what do you guys think? See, now I have made your choice task so easy, right? We're not looking among 5 answer choices, just among 2.
Alpha.
Alpha is what Kriti is saying. Alpha is what Kriti is saying. Kriti, why did you say alpha? Why did you choose alpha?
Because it is making comparison between the agents who take into account intangible aesthetics and the other real estate agents.
Very nice, very nice. So because alpha is taking into account that difference, real estate agents, one category of real estate agents who take into account intangible aesthetic factors, and obviously other real estate agents who do not take into account the intangible aesthetic factors. And it's saying that the first category is able to assess homes market values far more accurately. Sorry, aren't we comparing? Absolutely. What does, yes, so what does website not do, Kavita? It does not take in, correct, right? It does not take into account the intangible factors. And this is saying that real estate agents also who do not take into account the intangible factors have a less effective assessment. Absolutely. It is given to us and we have to support it. We have to support this. Now, let's also look at Baker. Let's look at Baker. Can someone tell me why is Baker not the right answer, which was a favorite choice for a lot of you? Why is Baker not the right answer?
Because it is using the word intangible aesthetic factor.
All right. Okay. Okay. So Rajiv is saying that Baker is using the word some. Fair enough. Any other reason? Now tell me, according to the argument, does it claim, first of all, that all the real estate agents take aesthetic factors into account? It does not. It just says a real estate agent can take. Now, this is some argument says that this is something that websites cannot do. So real, in other words, what the argument is implying is real estate agents who take into account intangible aesthetic factors are able to more accurately assess the value of a home. It does not claim at all that most real estate agents actually do it. It's basically saying that it is possible for a real estate agent to do this. And essentially, if a real estate agent does it, then the value would be true, more accurate. Yes, that correct. Absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. That including the aesthetics will make it more accurate. Yes. Yes. Actually, in fact, this is a very good discussion. Let us completely alter this argument and let us see in which scenario would Baker have been the right answer. Let us see that. Completely changing the argument. All right. If the argument was, okay, just forget this argument. I'm constructing a new argument, guys. Suppose the argument was that people sell their homes either using websites or with the help of real estate agents. All right. Most, and then it would have said, I'm constructing it, so it's not spontaneous. Okay. People sell their houses, or people arrive at the market value of their houses either using the website or using real estate agents. Correct. And then it would have said that using real estate agents, the or real estate agents are able to can assess the home's true market value far more accurately, right? Hence, now this is important, the conclusion is important. Hence, most people are able to find out the true market value of their houses. Do you get my argument? We have two options, right? Either assess the market value of a house using real estate agents or using websites. It is given that using a real estate agent, it's given that real estate agents familiar with the home and its neighborhood can assess the home's true market value far more accurately. Hence, most people are able to find out or assess the true market value. If this was the argument, then Baker would have been the right answer. That most real estate agents do take into account, because if this was not the case, then that conclusion would not have been valid, that most people are able to find out the true market value of their homes.